Hi, this is Loretta coming at you with another video, and I'm super late getting this video out to you guys, and I apologize for that. This video I'm doing for Scrapbooking with Me Boutique, which is a group over on Facebook. They have recently started a .com website though, so that you will be able to purchase items from the boutique over there. This is a video designed to help brand new people to scrapbooking or to paper crafting. I'm gearing this primarily toward people who want to do scrapbooking, but I really think that this would apply to anybody. My number one piece of advice for anybody first starting out is to choose one project and then get what you need for that one project. And then as you choose other projects to work on, choose a project that you might need one more piece of equipment, so to speak, that you can add to your collection that you'll be able to use over and over and over and over. So I'm just going to start out with supplies that I would use if I needed to make, or if I wanted to make a mini album. I think that for a lot of people, that's what they want to start out with, is scrapbook layouts or a scrapbook mini album so that they can put their photographs in it. So I'm going to start out with the things that you absolutely have to have. Things that I would immediately buy for just right off the bat. You're going to have a paper trimmer. This is the paper trimmer that I use. It came from Hobby Lobby. If you don't have a Hobby Lobby in your area, they do have a website. I'm not sure if they ship to international people or not, but I use the Paper Studio because Hobby Lobby runs their Paper Studio line 50% off quite frequently. And when they do that, I pick up the replacement blades. The replacement blades are 2 for $3.99. So that means that I can get 2 for $1.99. And as much crafting as I do, I really go through these blades. So for me, that's a really good buy. It does as good a job as any other paper trimmer that I've ever tried out. So for me, this is a win-win. I think this is about $6.99. And so if you can pick that up half price, that's what, $3.50 for a paper trimmer. That's pretty good. You also can use this as a scoreboard. If you don't have a scoreboard, by placing your paper in here, measuring where you want the score line to be, and then using a bone folder to score, which we'll go over that bone folder later. So that's an absolutely must-have for any kind of paper crafting, is a trimmer. Another absolutely must-have for me is an X-Acto knife, and this comes in really handy for fussy cutting. So for me, that's a must-have. Also, a must-have is a pair of precision scissors. Now, I absolutely love my Tim Holtz scissors. There again, you can get these from Hobby Lobby. They typically do run Tim Holtz items 30% off from time to time, or you can usually use a 40% off coupon. For me, these are a really good investment. They're really quality made, and they really hold up. So for me, that's a really good investment. Another must-have is adhesive, and I'm going to go over several different types of adhesives, and I'm going to move this out of the way. My favorite adhesive is my ATG Scotch Advanced Tape Glider. Edith runs sales all the time. She carries the ATG refills, and sometimes she'll run a sale where you can get really good prices. She has the best prices that I'm aware of any place. if you really get into paper crafting, you're going to go through oodles and oodles and oodles of this type of adhesive. If it's not in your budget to purchase this for your first project, you can use double-sided tape. But I would put this high on the list of a tool to buy as soon as you can. Because if you're really going to get into paper crafting, you're going to do it often. This is the least expensive adhesive that I know of. It's also the best adhesive that I know of as far as a dry adhesive. Now, you're also going to need a wet adhesive. And there are several things that you can use. You can use the Scotch Quick Dry Adhesive. That's a good wet adhesive. I like that. I know that Edith has several different ones in the store that she carries, so check those out. So you need a wet and a dry adhesive. So that's one thing that you definitely need. Another thing that Edith carries in her store that I use gobs of is score tape. It's a really strong adhesive. It's really good for binding pockets and that sort of thing. It's you can also use it to lay down ribbon. It'll lay down a whole host of materials, and it's really, really strong. And again, Edith has the best price of any place that I've ever found for score tape. In fact, score tape in my area is impossible to get. There's not a store that you can go to buy score tape, so I have to buy it online. And I have to have it. It's one of those things that I just don't ever, ever, ever do without. Okay, so for me, these are the things that you absolutely must have to start out to make your very first mini album. Okay, those are the must-have items. Okay, now I'm just going to put some other items out there that I think are nice to have, that you might have, you know, in your home. And that is just plain old emery boards are terrific for distressing edges. So those are just, you know, terrific to have around, and you probably have one of those. I use a ruler quite frequently, and you know what? You can just use any old ruler will do just fine. Like, you don't have to have a particular ruler. However, I will say that I do absolutely love my Tim Holtz ruler. It's clear, and I can put it over projects to measure projects in 1/2 inch or 1/4 of an inch or whatever I might need to do. It's also a really nice straight edge to cut along, so, you know, but any ruler will do. I also do use a paper piercer a lot, but another good item that you can use for a paper piercer is just one of these really big needles. They will work. It's not as handy as a paper piercer is, but you know, it might be something that you have just on hand that you can use, no problem. So there you go. I also use a bone folder a lot. I use a bone folder a lot for getting a good crease on pockets that I'm making, etc. And if you're going by a video tutorial, it might call for one of these. However, you can also use a popsicle stick, and it will do a comparable job. Okay, so let's move on to some tools that you might put on your list to get, you know, as soon as you can. Okay, the first thing would be distress ink and a well, I don't know exactly what you call this little tool. You can tell mine's well loved. You can use a makeup applicator, will work. There's a video out there somewhere, I'm not exactly sure where, of how you can make your own tools like this. My very favorite distress ink color is Gathered Twigs, but a lot of people like Vintage Photo. So I would definitely put this on my list. I also use the refills on the Vintage Photo. I forgot one item that I think you absolutely have to have on hand, and that's a journaling pen. And you can use Sharpie if, you know, your budget is prohibitive and you don't, you know, have the funds right away to buy something just really nice and expensive or what have you. I also would put it on my list pretty quick. I use a hole punch quite a bit. And these will work to a degree, but if you have something thick that you want to punch like chipboard, you're going to have a really tough time with that. So, I love my We Are Memory Keepers crocodile. And this is a tool that I would definitely put on my list of, you know, a really, really good investment to have for paper crafting. And that's something that I would do as quickly as I could. Another tool that I would do as quickly as I could is, and this is, by the way, this is a hole punch for those of you who don't know, and it will also set eyelets. So, and this is another We Are Memory Keepers tool. And it is a corner rounder, and it has a 1/4 or a 1/2 inch quarter round, and that can just give a really nice finished look to projects. These crocodiles, a lot of Hobby Lobbies do have them, and you can use your 40% off coupon there. Also, a lot of Michaels has these, and you can use % coupon off. Joann's.com also frequently runs sales of 40 to 50% off all their paper crafting tools, and you can get them there. So that's another possibility. Tim Holtz Tiny Attacher. Love this guy. And it is something that, you know, I would put on my list of, you know, things that you might want to get. Another staple of the boutique that I use very, very frequently, and I'm sorry this package is open, is the foam tape. I use dimensionals a lot in my creations, and I always, absolutely always have that on hand. Okay, so there's just some ideas of some things that you would need to have, and I'm going to scoot all this over. I can put all this up in a little bit. Now I'm going to tell you another thing. I already gave you all the essential things that you would need, say, to create a mini album. This is another tip that I would start out creating a project or a mini album, is that I like to use paper lines, or I like to gather materials that are going to match. If you use a paper line, it's just super easy, because what you do is you start out, you have your paper, your pattern paper. This is Bo Bunny Primrose, and this came from the boutique. I know she doesn't carry it anymore, but she does carry all kinds of really cool, and so all your pattern papers are going to match. And what's great about these are you can fussy cut these butterflies out and use dimensionals, like I was telling you about, to pop those up and make your own embellishments out of some of the paper. So that's the really cool thing about that. You also can do a lot of layering by using the borders that are in some of these papers. And then a lot of these papers also have cut apart cards that are really great to use for layering to get a really, really pretty effect, and also to make pockets and that sort of thing. And there's another cut apart. So, you know, that's a really cool thing when you look for pattern paper, to look for things that include those cut aparts and various elements that you can fussy cut and use. And then see, this is the same line, so I know this chipboard is going to match. This is really great for layering. And then also out of the same line, we've got the brads. Bo Bunny has a really cool ephemera pack. We've got the stickers, and we've got the chipboard and button pieces. Okay, so right there I have everything that I need to make a mini album outside of chipboard. And I could even use cereal boxes for chipboard to construct a mini album, and there are lots of tutorials out on the internet on how to do that, and on how to construct mini albums out of everyday items that you have at home, like envelopes and things like that. There are all kinds of video tutorials on how to do that step by step. For this particular line, I also did pull some alphas that I had in my stash. Alphas are usually pretty inexpensive, so you can buy those pretty inexpensively. But like I said, I would absolutely start with a line of, or a kit, a line or a kit. And the kits that Edith puts together on her website, they sell out really super fast. But you know, get in line and watch for those. They come out once a month. And, you know, pick one of those up. January has an absolutely fantastic kit that I put together by Crate Paper that is going to have all of the elements that you need to put together a really nice project. And then all you're going to have is just, you know, these things that I told you were essentials. So that's my tip for people who are just starting out. Start out with a kit or a line and get the tools that you absolutely have to put your first project together. And then each project that you do from there, add one tool to your collection that you're going to be able to use over and over and over. So I hope this has been helpful to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all, please leave me a comment. Love to read your comments. Shoot me a message. Be happy to answer any question that I can. Or you can also get in touch with me over on Facebook. So there it is, guys. That's just a little 101 things that I wish I knew when I first started out myself. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. You mean the world to me. I love you guys. Each and every one of you. Thank you for making your comments. I read them all. And until next time, bye now.